Mm-mm-mm. That was crazy. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Looks better. That looks better. Whew. Sometimes when you plan on doing something, you end up getting a little behind on what you plan on doing, and that's exactly what happened here. Uh, appreciate you jumping in, Joe, and Gian. I appreciate you coming in. Y'all probably gone now. Um, Joe said scent of the day was Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. That's actually a really good scent of the day. That's a really good scent of the day. Um, no, guys, but so what happened was, got to get up in the morning, literally in about 4 hours, 4.5 hours, something like that. We're gonna be headed down to South Carolina, man. So my wife can visit her family for the fourth, and I went in there and trimmed my hair up, got all that together, and for some reason the live wouldn't start. Um, so I had to keep on hitting the button, just like boom, 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 would not start. So I had to put in there. Eventually, the live will start. So I'm not sure what happened just now, but it actually went ahead and ran through. So good deal. Welcome everybody, man. I'm not gonna be on here long because, like I said, I gotta be up in a few hours, man, to head out to South Carolina, man. It's about a 5 hour drive. It's not that bad. I used to be able to do them standing on my head, man, but not able to do those like that anymore. That used to be the thing, man. I used to be able to just do that with no problems, no sweat. Now, not so much. Now it's like, if I try to do that with no sleep at all, it'll be a problem. It'll be a little bit of a problem. Let's see, Gian, what's going on, man? You said, oh, you're talking to Mo right there. Mo, talking to Joel. Said, Gator, do you like Afnon Rare Reef? I do. I actually do, man. So here's the other thing. This is the other reason why it was taking me so long, man. I was trying to do I was trying to save my review. I did a review um, of Rare Reef, and it was kind of like a different format than I normally do reviews in. Like the way that I did this particular one, I didn't take it to the table or anything like that. I just kind of did it from the wall or whatever. And um, the problem when I do that is that the mic sometimes has to do a reset. And I didn't think to reset it because normally when I do I'm sitting down, I do the table part first, and then I do the part where I'm standing up. And so having to do it reversed, it just kind of put me out of sync. Didn't have a thought of like redoing the mic and everything. So it came out really weird as far as like the volumes go. And I thought I had done a test on it, but it's weird because you can do the test and it come through okay in certain on certain levels, but not on the other. Anyway, long story short, I got to redo the whole freaking review. I could like do the elevation of the sound, but it's gonna make it sound distorted. That being said, I do really like Rare Reef. I think it's a great fragrance. Um, I got on there and I was talking about people shilling for that, not necessarily for that fragrance. It just so happened that the bottle was up when because because YouTube chose the thumbnail on that one, and it just so happened the thumbnail that it chose was me holding up the Rare Reef, and it said the shill is real overhyped fragrances on the bottom of it. I like the fragrance a lot. I think that Rare Reef is definitely a good inspiration It's inspired by Pacific Chill. It's not Pacific Chill. There is definitely some differences in that DNA. Goes real aquatic towards the mids of that fragrance, and the it's a lot more airy, a little bit more spicy. That coriander really does its thing at the top, and then the fruits are a lot more muted in Rare Reef than they are in a lot of the other inspirations and the actual Pacific Chill. That being said, I like it a lot, man. It is definitely that coriander. That's the thing that I really get when you first spray it on. That coriander definitely like colors this thing and makes it a lot different than the original Pacific Chill. Excuse me. That being said, I tried to say this in that review. I want to stop even comparing this to what it's inspired by because it's a different fragrance. I spent a lot of time with it too, guys. Like I literally, if you look at the juice level in here, is down. A lot of times when I do reviews for like inspired buys, what I do a lot because it's like 30 something dollars, I'll take the hit. I will spray them. You know, I will definitely get a good like. Hold on, let me see something real quick. I want to make sure that had to make sure that I close the door because my wife is laying down now sleeping. Um, but I work with them, man. I will spray, respray, check to see how it develops. I will, reapply, 10 minutes after I applied the first time, a lot of times just to kind of see how the notes are progressing. I take notes, I do, like voice notes and all that kind of stuff. So I really study them before I actually do a review. I make sure that I put like at least 4 wears on every fragrance that I have that I do a review on, at least 4. So yeah, I like it though. I like it. I like it a lot, man. And it's not redundant to have this. At least I don't think so. I don't think it's redundant to have this and some of the other Pacific Chill inspired by fragrances. The fragrance I'm wearing tonight, as a matter of fact, and this is gonna be my actual fragrance for tomorrow because I'm not really gonna sleep. I'm gonna kind of lean back in the bed for a quick sec and get like 3 hours of sleep and then jump up and get on the road, man. So the scent that I'm actually rocking tonight are just sprayed on because I literally just got out of the shower because I was trying to get a lot of this other stuff together. Is this guy right here. This is the Rayhan Pacific Aura here. This is, I got that din out of there because I just decanted it out. This is Rayhan's Pacific Chill inspiration. And, it's interesting because Rayhan has done some really good stuff. I love their interpretation of the Centaurus DNA. There's been a couple of other ones that I've smelled. Pacific Ocean, I think is really good. Their Elixir is really good. It's a good interpretation of Lamal. Yeah. But this one's actually one of my favorites because it does actually seem like it's taking care to kind of get a little bit more accurate with the fruit blend and the way that it presents in here. It's a lot brighter as far as the way that the fruit presents than a lot of the other inspired buys. It's a lot closer to that apricot style than like a heavily orange style. But the one it reminds me of most is a better version of Pinus White. Like this is Pinus White if it focused more on the apricot and not the orange. It's not quite as dense as Pinus White, but it definitely has a lot of that same kind of density in it, especially at the top of it. I'm getting a full wear in today. I'll have some more information on it, but so far I like it a lot, man. John said, I want to get it because I heard it's not a clone, but more of an inspiration. Yeah, it definitely is. You say, which one's better, Rayhan or Afnan for you? Well, I haven't gotten a real good, like, this is going to be my first full wear on it. I've smelled it around a little bit, just kind of spreading it on my arm and just kind of walking around and just see what it does. Right now, though, I've heard people say that this one is a stronger version of a lot of the other inspirations. Is a stronger one. I don't get that yet. I don't get that yet. Like I said, I'm doing a full wear today, so I'll know. I can't even judge which one is better because it depends on what your definition of better is. Is it a better fragrance overall? Is it a better inspiration of Pacific Chill? Um, I think this is a better inspiration of Pacific Chill, even though it's not super, 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 super. It's not that accurate. It's more accurate than Rare Reef is, especially in the opening. The opening's bright. It's a lot juicier than what a Rare Reef is. Rare Reef, like I said, the fruit seem muted in there. And I think it's done purposely so that that coriander, that spiciness kind of comes out at the top. And it definitely does make it differentiate from the other fragrances with that DNA. But I will say that so far, I'm really enjoying this for the 35 minutes that I've actually had it on as a full wear. Um, it's one that you keep smelling too. That's the thing about this one. This is another one that you keep going to and keep smelling. Um, we shall see. Right now, I love the actual DNA of Pacific Chill. I do like this one. I'm leaning a little bit more towards this one, but I can't knock the fact that the Rayhan is just it smells really really good. Just that the coriander, the areas. Like I said, I could have this in my collection, and even though they share some redundancy to each other, having both isn't necessarily redundant in your collection. You can have a Rare Reef and a Pacific Aura in your collection, and they're gonna do different things, especially like about an hour to 2 hours into the dry down. You're going to have a different experience with Rare Reef than you will with Pacific Aura. Um, Pacific Aura, like I said, is going to get a little bit closer to the actual DNA. The fruit blend is a little bit, I think the blend itself, I think is probably a little bit more accurate in the Afnan Rare Reef, but it's muted, so it doesn't even matter, you know? It's not like it's muted. You don't get the boldness, the brightness that you get in Pacific Chill in the fruit blend, even though they really did a good job replicating the way that the thing is blended. They kind of put the apricot in there with the perfect amount. Like Pacific Aura, it nails the brightness that Pacific Chill opens with. Like I said, I'm kind of going between the two right now to see which one is going to be the best one. And like I said, I'm getting the full wear on this one today. I'm really interested to see what it looks like and at our, because I'm going to reapply before we get on the road, because I really want to kind of get a good feel of how it just sits on skin. But I really want to see what it feels like in hour 6, as opposed to this one. This is the other thing. This fragrance to me, it floats in the air because of that violet leaf. This is one other thing that this one kind of adds to the Pacific Chill DNA. It adds that violet leaf. And if you know violet leaf can make things airy, but what it can also do, and at least with every fragrance that I've had that's had violet leaf in it, it almost masks the amount of sillage that you have. Like it's almost like it pushes your notes out further, and I think it's because of the chemical that's used to kind of recreate violet leaf. It's almost like it increases your sillage. Even when your projection isn't quite there, your sillage actually lasts a little longer. So, and I think that's what happens here with this one. So I'm interested to see how this one plays because it doesn't have that aspect. I feel like this is probably going to be the better projector and like that third hour or so. And this one's going to be kind of the one that lasts a little longer as a skin scent. So we shall see. We shall see. I really wanted to jump out of the shower, man, and bust Seraphine Musk. But the problem with me doing that is, man, we're gonna be on the road, and yeah, my wife says it smells like Band-Aids. So I don't want to get her to the point where she's like, no. Let's see. Racket Club, what's going on? What is happening? What is happening? He said I came right on time talking about that Rayhan. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you came right on time because I was late. I was definitely late. He said, when you get Pacific Corrugated, I got it a couple of days ago, I think. So maybe 3 days ago. Maybe 3 days ago. I got it. Let's see. Joel's, yeah, Joel's working. Joel is like the multitask machine, man, because he can moderate 7 lives and be working a full-time job, and be doing his TED talk like at the same damn time. So shout out to Joel, man. Racket Club said, how's the update on that new Yellow Paris Corner joint? So I've got an interesting thought about this fragrance. While it's not really that close, and we're talking about L'Esport, I can't even say it right now. Lure d'Espoir, that's what it is. Lure d'Espoir. Memories of Summer, man, Paris Corner. So this is a soft fragrance. This feels to me like sunshine. And what I mean by that is it's one of those fragrances that gets on your skin and it just kind of sits softly on your skin. Now, some people might consider that kind of weird and like why would you want something as a guy that's just sitting softly on your skin? I mean, different fragrances for different people, man, and all fragrances have a utility to them. This one is more of a skin scent that actually has a decent amount of sillage, because it's weird. I wore it last week, and y'all know I was kind of poo-pooing all over this thing. Like, man, I got to throw it in maturation. It's light in the ass. It's da 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 da. So I was in the store, and I walked by this young lady, and she was like, "You smell good," and I was like, "Thank you." Now, this was like maybe 3 hours or so after I had initially put it on. So I was like, well, wait a minute. If she's picking that up and enough to where, because folks don't just, oh, you smell good when they just like barely smell you. They like, so it lets me know, like, and I smelled it to and I thought I was going nose blind to it, but I wasn't. Like, my wife smelled it. She was like, yeah, I could barely smell it. But when I kind of passed by her later in the evening, she's like, oh, yeah, I smell it. It's one of those types of fragrances. It's soft, has a good bit of sillage to it. And like I said, it feels like almost like a sweet sunshine, right? Because it does have kind of like this softness, like a sun ray almost that's hitting you. It's warm, it's soft. It's definitely unisex. This is a fragrance that I think women can definitely get away with, easily get away with. And I think this is going to be a popular women's fragrance. But I think guys can rock this too. Just know that you're doing something that's going to have a little bit of a softer projection. But it will, I think this is going to be good for like a good, like, I'm just lounging around, type of sunny day type vibe. Let's see. So what website did you buy it from? Oh, so I bought this one. I think this was Fragrance Buy. Yeah, this was Fragrance Buy. By the way, let me get the, I think it's this way. Le d'Espoir. Yeah, I think I got it from Fragrance Buy. Focus. There we go. Let's see. Hoodrich Gaming, what's going on, man? Say, what do you think about Club to the We Intense Man? I just copped this on the way. Club to the We Intense Man, I am so burnt out on a vintage style DNAs. I really am. That being said, the Club to the We line is the best line of a vintage style DNAs that are out there. Um, there's not anybody who's really doing. I mean, they've got the vintage game sold up so much that people who have done Creed fragrances for years are like, the Club in the We line is like closest to what the original Creed batches were. It's just that serious. Now, which one are we talking about though? Because you got the Club in the We Intense Man, you've got your limited edition, you've got your Pure Parfum. You've got so many different flankers of the Club de We Intense Man. Each one of them has a little bit of a different vibe to it, but they're mostly all decent Aventus style DNA clones. Racket Club said, I'm burnt out on Aventus DNA too, but I actually like that Hawas Black though. You know what? Hawas Black comes across to me more like the Hasivat DNA than it does the Ventus. They do have that sweet vibe in common, but it comes across to me a little bit more smoky than the actual Aventus does. That being said, I kind of like Hawas Black too. I didn't want to bring it in. It was one of those where it's just kind of like, I'm just so burnt out. Like I've had Club in the We Intense Man. I've had the actual and I got decants of Hasivat over there right now, and it's just like I don't really want to have that in my wheelhouse for some reason. Like I've got a whole bunch of different DNAs. The closest thing that I have to like that Aventus style DNA right now is that 9 p.m. up there. 9 p.m. is really what it is. I mean, but I got Ventus Absolute with a 10 mil decant. I've got Hashivat with a 10 mil. I think the Hashivat is a 5 mil decant. So I'm good on that DNA. Now 9 p.m. Rebel is actually pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think I am going to go ahead and get Press Show. Like I got it as a gift from my brother a while back. And I was like, I'm burnt out on the vintage style DNAs. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but might get it. Might be a good fragrance to have for the fall, man. It might be really good. Speaking of fall, I was on Keith Griffey's live tonight, and we're kind of talking about that, man. This fragrance, man, Seraphim Musk. Here we go. Seraphim Musk, man. 4 ounce on this one. I think people are going to have a problem with it. I love it. I haven't gotten to have a full wear on it, but the first time I smelled it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, all right. And my nose was kind of like trying to take it in and interpret it a little bit, right? But the second and third times that I sprayed it on, my nose really started being like, okay, now I'm picking up all of the nuances here. I'm picking up the pink pepper. I'm picking up the brightness, a little bit of the brightness from the citrus, but it's not like an overbearing citrus. I barely get it. The biggest thing that I get in here is that labdanum and the ebony wood, the way that the ebony wood presents in here. And then about 2 to 3 hours in, maybe not even that far in. I'd say maybe about an hour and a half or so in. When I start smelling the skin, I'm picking up a lot more of the vanilla. Now it is soft. It's a softer vanilla, but it is definitely there, man. And it serves to kind of smooth out the DNA a little bit. And actually, that's to me, the dry down is where the magic of this fragrance is going to be. The magic of Seraphim Musk is in the dry down. That's when you start getting a lot more of those more, and I wouldn't say mass appealing, but some of the more appealing facets of the fragrance itself is when you get into that dry down, man. An hour and a half in, when that black vanilla kind of comes in and kind of sweetens up there. And it's not a super sweet, it's a black vanilla, it's not uber sweet, but you can tell that you've got a little bit of a background soft sweetness kind of creeping in around that hour and a half mark, man. And that says everything about how this fragrance develops. It has a depth to it. And I like fragrances that have a depth, man. So I'm looking forward to really putting some wares on this one, man, when it gets uh cool. This is not a summer scent. It's, when you hear musk, a lot of times when people hear musk, they think, "Oh, well, musk, that's something good for the summer or the warm weather." And this one's not. This one's, to me, it is. I won't say you have to exclusively wear it in like the winter or fall, because I do think you can pull this off in the spring. I don't see it, like, not on a hot summer, not like a summer night in Atlanta, not a summer night in Louisiana where I'm from. No, that humidity will eat everybody that you wear this around alive. That being said, it's at least a 3 season fragrance. Um, and like I said, it has a depth to it. It's that ebony wood is not quite what you would consider a smoky wood. It's not like a Gaiac style of smoky. You know, it's more of a soft style of smoky, and it's really nice, man. It plays really well in this fragrance. The thing that threw me off, we were talking about this on Kicks Live, man. The thing that threw me off about this fragrance is the color of the juice. It's got green juice, and that's just the teal juice. Actually, that's just to go with the design of the actual seraphim angel on here, which apparently was modeled after George Zaroff. But beautiful, man. And this is one that I just can't stop smelling. My wife's like, "Oh, they smell like band-aids to me." Anything that smells like oud and like a labdanum. And she does it more with fragrances that have a labdanum in them. She really kind of starts talking about the the band-aid smell. But if you are familiar with a lot of different ouds, a lot of ouds have that kind of vibe, that band-aidish vibe going on. Let's see. Say, tracking my late night fragrance guide. What's going on, Ricky Garrett? What's happening? Center today, Avenon's Supremacy Collector's Edition. Very good fragrance. That's another one that has that Aventus DNA. We were just kind of talking about being burnt out on that. I think that one is actually one that is worth getting, though. And I was kind of going between press show and collector's edition. I think I'm going press show, but collector's edition ain't a bad investment either, because collector's edition just has a little bit more of the florals in that thing. I feel personally like it has a little bit more of a bite to it than press show does. I feel press show is a little smoother. Um, but the bite is intentional in supremacy. It kind of gives you this. I think it pops more. I think it stands out more. It makes that fragrance stand out more than press show does. So it's a good choice, man. Good scent choice on that one. Hood Rich Gaming says, I also have Spectre Ghost French Avenue EDP and Enigma Un. Let's see, on the way. Also, you have those by chance? And if so, what's your opinion? I have had them both, actually. So Enigma Un is Enigma Un. I'm trying to think of which one Enigma Un is. I've had Enigma Deux. I've had Un. I'm trying to remember what it's cloning. I mean, Spectre Ghost is Annie. And I like Spectre Ghost. I actually have Spectre Ghost somewhere here. When I get down to like usually like the bottom of the bottle, I put it in like a little rack, and it's basically there to just get thrown in the decants. And I might have already done it. I think I already have put it into just like a regular decant bag. And when I have less than 10 mil, throw it in a decant bag into one of these decants and chunk the bottle. The Spectres are good, man. All of the Spectres are good. Spectre Ghost, Spectre Wraith. If you've never smelled Spectre Wraith, get your nose on it. It is a Black Phantom inspiration. Damn good Black Phantom inspiration too. So minimal maturation required for that one. I say maybe about a week in maturation. Comes out beautiful rendition of the Black Phantom DNA. The only thing that I get with that one is that it develops a little bit less in the dry down, but it's really good, really really good. Enigma Un is actually the what you call it one? Isn't that the latent one, or is Enigma Deux the latent one? I want to say Enigma Un is the latent one. Let's see. But Spectre Ghost, you can't go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with Spectre Ghost. It's a great rendition of Ani. 9 p.m. Rebel smells like a Ventus. I haven't smelled it yet, but I heard comparisons, Kaid El Farsan, and I like that. Just no performance on me. So Kaid El Farsan, when I first smelled it, if you look through my videos, I did a first impressions on 9 p.m. Rebel, and I also did the actual review. Kaid El Farsan was the first fragrance that I mentioned in there. I felt like it was an amped up version of Kaid El Farsan. It does have that Ventusy pineapple vibe, but it has a caramel in there. It adds some depth to it, and that's where people are getting the Aventus Absolute comparison. It is not one-to-one Aventus Absolute, no, not that. But in that same style of a DNA, that's what 9 p.m. Rebel is. You do get a lot of that Kaid El Farsan vibe. A lot of people say that Kaid El Farsan is the cheapest way to get to Aventus. I personally don't think so. I think that Kaid El Farsan is smoky pineapple, while Aventus is smoky birch with a touch of pineapple in it. There is a difference when you look at it like that. But 9 p.m. kind of ventures in that Aventus Absolute DNA while having a little bit more of that pineapple influence at the top. But as it dries down, man, and you get a little bit of the lavender come in, you start getting a little bit of that caramel kind of make its way in, rounds it out really nicely. And I thought it was pretty good when I first smelled it. I was like, I'll give it like a 7. It's all right. But man, now I'll definitely give it like an 8, maybe an 8.1, 8.2, because it definitely has a compliment factor too. People like the way that thing smells. Let's see. You say, I'm looking forward to you putting some words on Zamaya, a fairy tale. Eventually I will. Eventually I will. So this is what keeps happening, Ricky. I keep getting in a bunch of different fragrances. And as you can see, I got them sitting here. So what'll happen a lot of times is that I'll send some fragrances to the P.O. box, some fragrances to the house. And I send them to the P.O. box to put them in storage because the P.O. box is right next to the storage. So what I'll do is I'll go in there, put that stuff in storage because I have a whole bunch of other stuff in there. And then I have certain things that come to the house that are like, oh, these are the ones that's happening right now that everybody wants to hear about. So I end up sending those here. And so those like the Zamaya a fairy tale was one that I had that I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick that up for some fall wear, and it's gonna be one that I'll have in the tuck for when I do like fall reviews and stuff like that. So it literally just sits there in storage, just waiting on me to open it up. I have that in there. I have French Avenue Luna just came in this last week. But I'm actually bringing in sequoia here. So I need to get it when I go up there because Sequoia went in on that same. So French Avenue Sequoia is Royal Blend Sequoia. It is the new Royal Blend interpretation of Angel Share Paradise. So that one went in there to the storage too. So I need to go ahead and get that. Need to go make that trip so I can get those out of there. But eventually, man, because I know we've been talking about that one for a minute, man. Eventually, Hood Rich Game at $4.99, man. I definitely appreciate that, man. I appreciate it so much, man. You just don't understand. He said, "God bless you. Hope you keep grinding, man." I definitely will, man. And it is people like you that make sure that I will definitely keep doing it, man. Excuse me. I will be on it. Right? Club said, would it be redundant to have Afnan Collector's Edition if I already own Hawas Black? No, not really. Not really. I think that Hawas Black is going to be a little bit richer and smokier. I think that collector's edition is going to be a little bit more floral. It's going to be a little bit more light, a little bit more nimble of a fragrance. I don't think they're that redundant to have. I mean, because I can see you wearing collector's edition in the summer, like a summer evening. I don't see you wearing Hawas Black on a summer evening. Hawas Black's a little bit too, in my opinion, a little too smoky and too dense. But collector's edition, I think it has the florals give it a little bit of nimbleness and allow you to kind of wear it in a little bit more of a, have a little bit more utility in warmer weather. That's what it is, Sauvage Elixir. I was like, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. I just can't think of it. Because so, if that's the case, Enigma Un I've heard of and have not smelled. Because I smelled the Enigma Deux, which is the Leighton. So yeah, it's definitely Enigma Un that I have not smelled, and I'm looking at the bottle in my brain now. But from what I'm hearing, my partner Greg said it's a garbage version of the Sauvage Elixir. I don't know if that's true though, because I've heard other people say that it's a pretty damn good interpretation. I can't give you a confident answer on that until I put my nose on it. In all honesty, and I love that Sauvage Elixir DNA. By the way, when people talk about Lattafa Assad being Sauvage Elixir, it's not really. It's really vanilla heavy and all that. I love the licorice in Sauvage Elixir, man. When I first smelled it, I remember thinking, man, it smells like an old man, man. You don't want to smell that. But after I got a chance to really kind of wrap my brain around it, man, and I put it on skin and it lasted for like 24 hours until I took my shower, I was like, bruh, this is good. And it definitely leaves kind of it's one of those swagger boosters. Like I like to call fragrances sometimes they swagger boosters. It's one of those, man. It's really good. Enigma we're gonna see. Okay, Enigma does Angel Share. Okay, yeah. I think what did I say? I said Leighton. Angel Share. Angel Share, yep. And this is Alicia. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alicia. How are you? The Sea Yard Saint in the building. Big Meech, what's happening with you, man? What is happening, man? What is your center today, Meech? Because Meech be doing this thing, man. He be putting that shit on. For real. Let's see. Racket Club says, thanks, Gator. Yeah, man, that Hawas Black got that patchouli that be a beast mode on my skin. Yeah. Yeah, I think you have Enigma Un, don't you see how? Yeah, you say, yeah, I think Enigma Un is solid. Yeah. You say I'm rocking Drakkar Blue today. Oh, nice, man. So here's my take on Drakkar Blue. I had actually had a chance to put my nose on it, and I was going back and forth about whether or not I wanted to bring it in. It's gonna get brought in. It's definitely gonna get brought in. But the expedience of how fast it's gonna get brought in is kind of where I'm at, because I feel kind of like when I first smelled it, that opening made me say, damn, I need to get this, man. And then as I kind of sat in the car and had it on the back of my hand, as it kind of developed a little bit, I was like, okay, I it'd be nice to have. For some reason I didn't get as excited about it, but the opening itself is enough, man. So it's coming in. It's definitely coming in. It's just a matter of when. And like I was just talking about with Ricky just now, I got so many that just sitting there, man, that just got to get. So crazy part. This is gonna have to get reviewed. Yes, this is gonna have to get reviewed. Um, I'm in the process. I actually did my third wear on this one. This is the Turin 31. This one needs to get reviewed. And I was surprised by this one. This one is it's not gonna have the most glowing review from me, but this is a lot more decent than I thought it was going to be. This is actually developed into something that I could see being a really nice interpretation of that Torino DNA. Very lemon heavy at the top, but it's the way that the lemon presents that makes it palatable. And actually pretty good. Pretty good. Ooh, shoot, pretty good interpretation. Um, Still got to do this one. It's the summer. We just talked about that one. Oh man, I did the review for Rare Reef, but just got to go ahead and re-record the Rare Reef one. Sucks. Boo. Thumbs down. I'm wearing this one for the first time today. So yeah, that one's got to get done. So it's kind of like I did the Platine Blanc. I did my Mandarino de Sicilia. I just haven't published the Mandarino de Sicilia one just yet. So it's kind of like I got a whole bunch of them that are sitting there on off beach party, which spoiler alert, that one's gonna I'm not gonna skewer it too bad, but it's one that I am going to have a lot of fun dissecting. I'll just say like that. Because it's a fragrance that is not, in my opinion, um they took a big chance and swing on that one. And sometimes you swing and you miss. Oh, they missed on that one. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad fragrance though either, but there's some things about that fragrance that yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I got that one. And then my girl Kelly sent this one to me, man, and I definitely got to do this one. One of my ones that I'm looking the most forward to, man, the Mezcal Azul. I'm trying to get into some like warm, not so humid weather for this one because this was gonna really, really have its utility in like drier weather, right? So, because it smells like rain. It smells like a Blanca tequila. I think the first time I described it, and I think this holds true. If you fill up a glass of ice, just fill it up with ice. You take just a shot glass of tequila, just a shot. You pour it in there to where it doesn't even cover the ice. It's just like at the bottom of that thing here. And you take that and you do like this. That's this. It's the Blanco tequila, but it's subdued, it's watery, it is a beautiful, like airy, ozonic style of fragrance as well, though. Really nice, really, really nice fragrance. Racket Club said, "Damn, that beach party didn't make the cut." I was curious about that one. Oh man, so it's not even that it don't make the cut. So the problem that I have with beach party, in all honesty, man, is that it is synthetic as ish. When I say it's synthetic, bro, synthetic ain't even the word. Not even the word. But look at that ring. But it'll have some utility to it. This is one of the first fragrances in a while, though, that I wore, and my wife was like, "You gotta wash that shit off." Like, my wife was like, "You gotta wash that shit off, bro. Nah, we not doing this." Because it's a lot louder than it seems it is. Like when you spray it and you're thinking, okay, it's not that bad. No, it's loud. Like this is one of those four spray, bing, 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 you good to go. And it's gonna give you a nice little scent bubble around you. So you don't really want to spray more than like 4 to 5 sprays at all on this. Not at all. Let's see. All right, Racket Club said more synthetic than Nitro Red. I hated that fragrance that glazed all over the place last year. It's definitely more synthetic than Nitro Red. But this is one of those synthetics that is so Nitro Red has a synthetic, like the watermelon and all those things in there. It's kind of a synthetic vibe to it. This one has a synthetic guava. Guava's an interesting fruit anyway. It gives a tropical vibe. This one has kind of like one of those cheap synthetic vibe fragrance notes with the guava. It's not. The crazy part about it is once you spray it on, it's harsh. That first, like, I say maybe 30 minutes. No, maybe not that long. No, not that long. Let me completely execute this fragrance. The first, it's gotten better. I put it in maturation for like a month, and it did get better. The first maybe 20 minutes on this fragrance, it comes across a little harsh, but it settles in, softens up. It doesn't stop projecting. It still projects like a this. If you want people to smell you, this guy will do it. It will do it. As a matter of fact, put 6 sprays on. And if you in New York, they're gonna smell you in Arizona. But it's not bad. But you see how it says beach party? You ain't wearing this nowhere else. This ain't like I'm about to go into the office and wear this. Nah, I swear. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You're not about to go anywhere but to the beach wearing this. And you might get away with it at a pool party, but that's about it. That really is about it. It's like you literally saved me some money and future headaches. That's the other thing. You said future headaches in the sense of like, oh man, that was such a headache. Nah, this will induce actual real headaches when you have a synthetic like this. So you have to be careful with it. It calmed. Like after that month, it got a little bit better. It was a lot more palatable. But it's a fragrance that's designed for a beach party. This is designed for a day at the beach, or maybe I'm just gonna go around running some errands today. And it's a synthetic fruitiness, but it's still pleasant as it goes into that hour and a half. It's pleasant. It's not out of the ordinary pleasant. But if you can get through that first 20, 30 minutes, you're okay. But you got to get through the first 20, 30 minutes. Ricky Garrett says, how's that North Stag Trois? Haven't heard many reviews of it. I did a review of it when I first got it a while back. This was a long time ago. In fact, it's one of the first reviews on my channel. I hate those reviews, man, because I was doing the most. So I like Trois. I think that Trois is the least good of all of them. of the collection, right? But I like Trois. I like it because it has the afternoon swim DNA with a little bit of ginger in it. People say that it's an imagination clone. If anybody tells you that this is an imagination clone, they've never smelled imagination. Like, real talk. And the note breakdown, well, actually, that's not true. Let me say this. The note breakdown does bring up some of the imagination DNA on there, but in actuality, it's not really. Here we go. It's not really the best. To me, the highlight of this fragrance is the ginger, and it smells a lot like the orange one, the Trois, with ginger in it. Basically, that being said, I like it because when I do want to have a little bit more of a spicy kick, a little bit more depth to what I'm wearing, I'll reach for this instead of the orange one. A lot of people don't review it because it's really not that good. I mean, and I just said that, oh, it's good. I like to reach for it, but then I say it's not that good. It's not a good interpretation of imagination, which is what they tried to sell this as. As a fragrance on its own, it's actually solid. It's pretty solid, you know. Um, and I wear it as a fragrance on its own, not as a interpretation of the imagination DNA. But it's not bad. It's really not. And if you kind of want a little bit of a twist on that afternoon swim style of DNA, this is it. It said least favorite next to besides the tiger. Yeah, well, so the tiger clone is better than this one is, as far as like the inspiration of it is, and the fragrance itself is better. But because we all be like fuck tiger, it sucks. Which is why, as you see, I ain't got it up here because fuck tiger. Definitely fuck tiger, man. But you know what though, I can honestly say that I like the tiger DNA. I think it's great. I think it's just way overpriced. And any of the interpretations of the tiger DNA is a better buy, in all honesty. Any of those interpretations is a better buy than just getting tiger. So, let me just say, I'm about to go ahead and cut out of here, guys, because in what time is it? 1:18. In about 3 hours, I got to get up at 5. So in about 3 hours, I'm gonna be getting up and heading out to South Carolina. So it ain't gonna be too bad. Ragged Club says, "Man, I love Tiger though, LOL, but I hate Tarathi. That's another synthetic mess." Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Tiger to me is actually a really good fragrance. The problem that I have with Tiger is that people hyped it up so much, man. And if I haven't told the story before, the reason that I'll be on like fuck Tiger is I was told about Tiger and being this amazing, like life-changing fragrance, man. And so I was anticipating it and anticipating it and anticipating it. And it was the price point was so high, nowhere around me had it. So I ended up on a cruise and they had Tiger. And I was like, oh my God, they've got Tiger. And I was just like, my eyes were wide. I was like, oh my God, this may be the first fragrance I buy off a cruise ship. And then I smelled it and I was like, is it? Like I was expecting the way people was hyping it up, I was expecting to smell it and levitate, you know? And when I looked down and my feet was still on the ground, I was like, I mean, this is it? Man, fuck Tiger. And it's been that ever since. Cause the guy was like, yeah, so you still wanna purchase it? First of all, I didn't tell you I was gonna purchase it. Second of all, no. Like, but yeah, man, I just it's just been that way ever since. I feel like it's overpriced for what it is. There's a lot of fragrances. Afternoon Swim to me is overpriced for what it is. Um, Most of the Louis Vuitton line is overpriced for what it is. So it's very rare that I see a designer fragrance that is worth like in that vein, Bulgari, Tigar, no, not that much. Guerlain, when they do some of their stuff, although I ain't gonna lie, that honey tobacco when they got is, oh my god, that's heavenly. But a lot of the Guerlain fragrances, same thing. Louis Vuitton, same thing with a lot of their fragrances, man. Just not worth it. Just not worth that price point. That price point's stupid. Can't see it. But yeah, no, let me get out of here, guys. Like I said, I'm about to go ahead and give me a little bit of shut eye and get on the road. I might actually do a live when I get down there to South Carolina, man. Maybe tomorrow night or something like that. Bust a live out. I ain't gonna have my fragrances with me. I'm gonna just have my little grab bag. Um, so I won't have any bottles with me. But folks can still ask me questions about stuff, and I'll be able to answer them because you know how we do. But anyway, you see how I keep reaching for this? You see how I keep reaching for this? This got some motion to it. People are gonna knock it, but it's got some motion to it. All right, guys, let me get out of here. Man, I appreciate everybody with the safe travels in the chat, man. And hey, guys, as we always say, man, happy 4th of July, by the way, to everybody out there. Make sure that you eat enough barbecue for me. And also, man, in the meantime, guys, whatever you do, however you're doing it, make sure you make today the best day ever on purpose. Peace out.